Welcome to Reddit Tea Time. My ex is a teacher and she just landed her first full-time position with a school board last fall. As a congratulations gift, I told her that I would take her anywhere she wanted on vacation. I own my own company and make a bit more than she does, so I can afford to do nice things for her. She chose an African safari. She planned it all out. She chose the lodge, the excursions, even the city we would fly in and out of so we could have a few days at a luxury hotel before and after the safari. Well, she also decided that she liked the company of one of the other teachers at her school more than mine. It sucked, but I understood. I work long hours. She wanted more attention than I could provide. It was as amicable as I could make it. I decided to go on the trip anyways because it sounded kind of cool and she had done all the legwork. At a Christmas party, I reconnected with an old girlfriend and we got back together. I invited her on the trip. We went and had a great time. She posts a lot on Instagram and has like 10,000 followers. She's not an influencer or anything. She just has a good eye for taking pictures of our city and her experiences in it. The post got back to my ex, and when I got back, she confronted me about going on the trip despite her. I told her that I hadn't even thought of her when I decided to go, invite someone else, or was enjoying the trip. She said I'm a bonehead because I know she'll never be able to afford a trip like I just went on, and that it was a bonehead move to take another woman on a trip she planned out. Since the trip costs about half of what she makes in a year, I imagine that the first part is right. As for the second part, I just thought it would be a waste to let all that planning not be used. Am I the bonehead? Now for some comments. Tell her, you ended our relationship. What I do with my time and my money is no longer any of your concern. Not the bonehead. Not the bonehead. She made her choice of partners. You can go on any trip you want. Did you do it on purpose? Yes. Is it petty? Yes. Could you have done something else? Yes, you hadn't actually paid for anything yet. Should you care? No. Your ex cheated and you guys broke up and are probably never going to get back together, so why should you consider their feelings? Are you never going back to your favorite restaurant just because it was their favorite too? No, because it's stupid. Not the bonehead. Not the bonehead. Why does she think it's unfair for you to take the trip after she dumped you for her work buddy? Maybe she and her new partner could pool their resources and go to the zoo. Still get to see the same animals, just not in Africa. Not the bonehead. She left you for another person, yet she has the gall to complain about you going on a trip with your own money and trying to hold some sort of moral high ground over you? Ridiculous. She needs to get over herself. She made her bed, and now she can lie in it. Am I, 37 female, a bonehead for telling my sister Jan, 41 female, to get over our parents' divorce? Our parents have been divorced for over 20 years. Growing up, it was evident from a young age that their marriage was messed up. Dad cheated a lot and never tried to hide it. When I was 6 and Jan was 9, Dad got Mom a dozen roses. Using context clues from things I remember at that time and confirmation from family, he was trying to apologize for an affair that got out of hand, which led to a huge fight. A few years later, Jan saw something romantic and cutesy on TV and asked why he never got Mom flowers. Dad said, roses are cursed and make your mom mad at me. Jan periodically brings up the roses are cursed BS every few years. I can't keep track of what upsets Jan. She also thinks dates that end in 1 or 2 are cursed. Blue trucks on the highway are cursed, types of food, and a bunch of other stuff nobody should be expected to remember. It was Mom's birthday this weekend and her boyfriend hosted brunch. I wasn't thinking and got Mom an arrangement that included roses. Mom loved it and put it in the kitchen. Jan showed up later with her family, all smiles until about an hour later when she went into the kitchen, let out a blood-curdling wail and started crying that roses were cursed and made Mommy divorce Daddy. She ranted that I cursed the family by bringing roses into the house on Mom's birthday. I snapped and said Mom and Dad got divorced because Dad was banging his way through our whole zip code in the 90s. Flowers aren't cursed. We're not cursed. That Dad made bad choices, and if she couldn't come to terms with that, then she needed to seek treatment because her behavior wasn't acceptable or normal. She looked at me like I had interrupted her Oscar speech. She and her husband left, and we tried to salvage the day. Mom's boyfriend thanked me, but Mom and our aunt say I'm the bonehead and Jan is sensitive and delicate, and that I should have known better than to bring flowers. My husband doesn't care. He just won't go to family functions with Jan there now. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. Your sister clearly has a lot of unprocessed trauma from the divorce. This is absolutely not normal for a grown woman to react this way 20 years plus later. She needs serious therapy. OP replied, I work with one of her former co-workers and apparently she flipped out similarly when a colleague of hers was sent roses from her husband, which led to her being fired. This happened about 7 or 8 years ago. Not the bonehead. She attacked you from a position of self-righteousness and irrationality, then got shocked that you both defended yourself and pointed out that the issue lay with her. Your only other option was to put up with her nonsense. Here's the thing. She's an adult and well past time when sensitivity can be an excuse for her behavior. If she's having trouble coping with an arrangement of flowers at this point, she definitely needs professional help. I'm saying this very sincerely because her reaction to the flowers and treatment of you over them is not normal or healthy. Not the bonehead. I'm so sick of people calling the victim a bonehead because they wouldn't put up with the crap being thrown at them. Your family members attacking you are the boneheads. OP replied, thank you for that. It feels like we're always held hostage by her outbursts or likes or dislikes, and nobody can or should be expected to decipher what's going to upset her next. I, 24 female, recently got engaged and had an engagement dinner party this past weekend. I'm currently still receiving backlash from this and want to get some outside opinions if I was in the wrong. My fiancé and I invited both of our immediate family and close friends to this dinner, about 30 people. The dinner was held at a nice Italian restaurant in my city. Our invites gave our guests the option to choose between a meat option and a fish option for their mains. It's important to note that the only people in both mine and my fiancé's family that I guess have food restrictions are my dad and stepmom, as they're pescatarian. But a lot of people in our family love seafood, so the fish option was chosen more than the meat option. My younger brother, 20 male, contacted me about a week before the dinner to RSVP and asked if he can bring a +1, his new girlfriend. He chose the meat option. Now, my brother dates around a lot and is always bringing new girls around, so I wasn't aware that he was even in a relationship. I told him sure, and that I'd have an extra seat for her. Night of the dinner comes, everyone is having a good time. I met my brother's new girlfriend. She seemed very sweet. When it came time to eat, she pulled one of the waiters aside and loudly asked him, "Is there any vegan options?" The waiter looked confused and said, "We have a fish and meat option for the mains. I can offer you a salad and some roasted potatoes and other veggies as a substitute if you wish." Brother's girlfriend started to get mouthy with him and said, "Well, what if I don't want a salad, huh? You just assume because I'm vegan I eat salads? What if I want some pasta? What kind of restaurant is this? This is discrimination." My brother started trying to calm her down, but she started going off on me, saying why would you pick a restaurant that doesn't have vegan options? Many people are vegan nowadays. It makes me feel alienated that you couldn't even think to accommodate me. I explained to her that the only people that have food restrictions here are pescatarians, so that's what I considered when I chose the restaurant. I didn't even know she was coming until a week ago. The reservation had been booked a month ago. She started saying it's embarrassing on my part that I can't accommodate all my guests and called me small-minded. I told her, "Sorry, I didn't think to accommodate you. I'll consider it in the future. Hopefully, you'll be around long enough for me to be able to do so." She ended up leaving. My brother walked out with her and has been messaging me that I should apologize to her because I embarrassed her in front of everyone. I told him she embarrassed herself. My mom's also been on my case to apologize to be the bigger person and keep the peace. Am I the bonehead for making her feel alienated? Now for some comments. Oh, for the love of God, do not apologize to her. Who does she think she is to complain like that? The way she talked to the waiter proves that she has no manners, and the way she talked to you tells me that she's a rude, spoiled brat. She embarrassed herself in front of everyone by this inappropriate attitude, and you were too kind to her. Bravo. Easy, not the bonehead. Your brother is a bonehead for taking her side, and she's the bonehead here. Not the bonehead, but wow, oh wow, but your brother's girlfriend is. You should remind your brother your world does not revolve around his current or future girlfriends. The audacity of her, invited to a nice restaurant by people she barely knows and gets that entitled. This is why vegans have a bad reputation. Tell your brother you'll apologize to her when she apologizes to the waiter and the restaurant owners for the bad publicity she has done, and to the other guests in the restaurant for the inconvenience she caused them during their nice evening out, and to you for messing with your special moment. Not the bonehead. Not the bonehead. Her using the word discrimination tells me all I need to know about her privilege. These people are so desperate to be oppressed. I, 34 male, have a younger sister, 28 female. She's a single mom and has a son, 6 male. My sister was a very brilliant and beautiful person, but has a history of making poor decisions. I was more mediocre, but became a lot more successful than her financially, and sometimes I feel like she resents me for this. She was a computer engineering major and a star student, but then started dating a loser. Kept making excuses about how amazing he was despite her grades dropping the moment they moved in together, and then she had a kid with him, dropped out of school, and he left and became a deadbeat dad. Her kid doesn't even like her, and now at 6 calls her names and tells her she's a loser, even in front of guests. Blames her for his dad leaving and not being in his life, and she shelters him by not telling him the things his dad actually did to both of them. He's young but seems to lack any interest in school and is a troubled child. She was working crap jobs since, but she recently got really lucky. A small tech company decided to hire her as a part-time junior software developer on the condition she go back to school part-time, and she got readmitted to her old university starting September. It's quite a good university too, but she needed a car now to cut her commute time. I own multiple cars and was looking to get rid of one, which is a good car but 12 years old. It's a Hyundai and has some minor gasket issues but runs great and is fixable. I talked to her about this and she seemed happy, but for some reason seemed to think I was giving it to her for free, but her expression changed when I told her the price. She said she would think about it. A few weeks later, she called me all excited, saying she had bought a brand new car and told me to come over for the surprise. I didn't really believe her as I know her finances, but indeed when I went there, she had a new Mitsubishi Mirage. I laughed and told her she had made a terrible mistake and that it was a really crap car and that she could get something much nicer used for that money. I feel like she might have even taken a loan for it, but I don't know. Her son was also laughing at it. She didn't answer me and kept talking about her car, but then later told me she had reliability concerns about mine, but this was not about her not buying my car. She could have found another used car. Am I the bonehead here? Now for some comments. You're the bonehead. Was this post meant to make us side with you? If so, it didn't work. You sound absolutely insufferable. I had to reread your age because my first impression was that you were 16 or 17. You're the bonehead. First off, the misogyny that drips from this is palpable. Your sister fell in love with someone and had a kid. From what it seems, you think it's wholly appropriate for you, your nephew, and possibly her child's father to disrespect her. She's doing all of that on her own without another person present. Where are you? You're sitting on your perceived high horse. You're not caring for a 6-year-old child by yourself on a severely fixed income. She's a writer, she's a mother, and she's trying to become a successful human being. Also, maybe start checking your nephew on his lack of respect for the woman that provides what she can for him. He's learning to disrespect his mother from men like you and his father. You're the bonehead. A 12-year-old Hyundai is not a reliable vehicle. Furthermore, it's none of your business what she does with her money, child, unless there is abuse or life. Try being supportive instead of crapping on everything she does. You're the bonehead. She didn't want to pay whatever price you had set for your 12-year-old fixer-upper. That's her business. But being a single mom, I get wanting to have something reliable and not something that's going to have to live in the shop every other month. It's none of your business what she does with her money. I also get the feeling that your nephew is picking up on your derision of his mom, as you sound like he parrots a lot of what you're doing. It's a bonehead move when you do it. Stop teaching it to her kid. This is not an issue I'm having with the company. This is just something with me and her. It's probably happening with other male co-workers, but I can't speak on their behalf. I work in an office and have a normal friendly relationship with my co-workers. We joke at times and have gone for drinks after work. None of these people are my best friends or anything, but I'm cool with them, including the women. Recently, a new woman was hired, and shortly after that, we received a message from HR. They said that we were going to have some employee conduct and harassment meeting. They brought in a speaker and we watched some videos and did an online test like at a job orientation. Basically, we learn to keep conversations work-focused, avoid or limit conversations after hours or not at the job. Obvious things like never make comments on physical appearance or do anything inappropriate. They even gave acted-out examples. There was a video of someone bumping into a coworker at the park, and they showed the right and wrong examples. The right was just basic formalities and keep it moving. The wrong was extending the conversation and asking about their day. I didn't think anything of it because we have HR meetings like this from time to time. Never this extensive though. The new employee pretty much said that she asked for this meeting to happen. She said that she agreed with everything we learned and that it was good to know. Now, I'm not here to judge her or say she did the wrong thing. I don't know what she experienced in the short time she's worked here or at a previous job. I don't know the kind of life she's lived or what she's gone through. I don't really want this to become people saying, "Don't trust women." I was at a coffee shop after work and she came in shortly after me and tried to strike up a conversation. I kept it friendly and short and then resumed what I was doing. She seemed put off by that. And then literally the similar situation to the video I mentioned happened. I was at the grocery store. We bumped into each other. I said short small talk things and wished her a nice day. With my other co-workers, including women, I'm more buddy-buddy and we have inside jokes. My co-workers buy me birthday presents and we have a good time. Me and my new co-worker work in the same small department, so she interacts with me a lot. She approached me and said that I'm ignoring and isolating her. I told her I just don't want anything to be misconstrued. I keep it professional. If I'm ordering coffee or food for the group, I ask her what she wants. I just make sure to not bring up personal life stuff with her. Edit. I'm just lost at like her getting HR to show us how to properly interact with a coworker. And then me interacting with her the way HR showed makes her upset. I get that she could have gone through something in the past. Just don't know what she wants from me. I'm doing what HR suggested. I'm obviously not going to give my coworkers I already have a bond or friendship with the cold shoulder to accommodate one new person. She said she agreed with everything we learned from HR, so I'm just applying it. I'm not doing this out of some lame revenge desire. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. You're doing exactly what your HR mandated training advised. Your coworker has told you that your coworker feels isolated and ignored. Mention to HR or your manager that you're adhering to the training, but your coworker has expressed feeling isolated and ignored. Now you would like official guidance dealing with the situation. Get this documented. Not the bonehead. This is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with coworkers being friends or even dating. She asked for this and that's what she's getting. Your employer is also the bonehead for trying to coerce employees to not be friends with each other. That's also a great way to increase turnover. Not the bonehead. She got exactly what she wanted. She asked for the training and meeting and admitted that it was at her request. Now that she's the odd man out, she's not happy. If I were you, I'd keep things professional and hang with the other coworkers. Not the bonehead. She announced she asked for the meeting as a new hire. What did she expect would happen? You're just covering your own behind. Of course, it's going to be off-putting to all other employees because she, as a new hire, appears to potentially be problematic. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you like these stories, please consider subscribing. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. Bye for now.